Welcome back. Now, today we are going to look at cleaning your data set using Pandas. How you can use your data set to cleanse your data using Pandas. How you can use Python to clean your data set using Pandas. Now, welcome back. Now, so we are going to look at how you can clean your messy data in Python using Pandas package. Okay. Data cleaning means fixing bad data in your data set. Bad data could be an empty cell, data with the wrong format, wrong data duplicate. So we are going to learn how to cleanse our data set with all this in Pandas. Okay, in this next chapter, okay, this is a particular data set. Now, this particular data set has an empty rows in some of this. There's an empty row there. Well, okay, Pandas cleaning empty cells in Pandas. If you want to clean empty cells in Pandas, how do we go about it? Now, empty cells can potentially give you a wrong result when you are analyzing your data set. So it's best you remove the empty cell, or it's best you remove the empty cell. So that's the best way to deal with empty cells. But if for any reason you might also want to decide to include something, a value in your data set in that part to replace the empty cell, this is usually okay since data sets can be very big and removing a few rows will not have impact on the result. But if it will have impact on the result, we can decide to project the data set and replace those empty rows with data. Okay, now returning new data frame with no empty cells. Now, we are going to import pandas and PD. We are going to bring this into pandas, and we are going to use new data frame dropna. Now, the dropna method in Python helps you to drop by default. The dropna method returns a new data frame and will not change the original data frame. Okay. It will just drop a particular column that is being referred to. That's what it does. It returns a new column, but will drop the particular column that is being referred to in your data frame. So it's going to drop that, then print new data frame dot to string. Now you're trying to now convert that to a string data set. So now the drop now method helps you to drop a particular column or what a particular data, a particular data from your data set. Any data you don't want, you can also use the drop now. There are also other methods you can use. You can use something like the fill now. The fill now helps you to fill those empty cells in your data set. If you don't want to drop those empty cells, you can use a fill now if you don't want to drop them. But the drop now actually drops the data set. So it is just the syntax. This is just the syntax, how to work with it. Now we have this in place equals to true. Note now the drop now in place equals to true will not return a new data frame, but it will remove all rows containing not value from the original data set. Okay, let's see this the drop now. Let me get a particular data set and see where I can have a drop now. Okay, now let's take a look at this particular data set here. Let me delete this up part of the data set for now. Let me delete this part of the data set. So take a look at this data set I have in an Excel spreadsheet. Let me delete this part of this data set. I have this data set in a CSV file. It's inside an Excel spreadsheet, but I save it as a CSV file. Okay, I click on delete. I just want to delete the entire row of the data set. Okay, I've deleted the entire row of that data set. Now I've deleted that entire row of the data set. Now the name of the data is staff. Okay, capital letter X. I'm going to import this data set into Python. So let's try importing that into Python in my Jupyter notebook. Okay, now we're going to start with import pandas as PD. Okay. Let's call that let's use drop now. Let's call that drop now. Just give it a name. You may want to give it um data frame PD dot grade underscore CSV file. Okay, let's try bringing this. If we want to bring the staff, okay, let me make sure that that particular folder is that this particular file. I'm going to close the file. I want to be sure that this particular file is in the Python, um, in my Python folder that I'm working on, in my Python folder that I'm working on. So I'm going to copy it and put it in that folder. Okay, I want it to be in the folder that I'm working on. So this is let me just show you that. Now, this is the data set. This is the data. I'm going to copy it here. I'm just going to copy it here and take it to this folder. Yeah. Double click. I'm going to paste it here in this folder. So I already have a similar file there. So I could just let me replace the destination file. I already have a similar file in staff. So when we go to my Jupyter notebook, go to my Jupyter notebook. Now when you go to the home, and when you look at that, you'll be able to see that particular file in my Jupyter notebook. Now you can see that staff. Now you can see staff.csv file. So I can now run this line of code here. Drop now data pd.read underscore csv file. Okay, I'm bringing that now into Python. Let us say print the drop now. Okay, I call it drop now. Let's say just print the drop now. Let's see if Python is going to print that. Okay, I'm having an error somewhere. No such file as staff. Okay, staff.csv. Now you can see it printed that. Okay, fine. Now we've known that data set is already loaded into Python. But instead of printing, what I want to do, we'll just give it a new name. New underscore drop. Okay, let's get new underscore drop now. Then we use data dot drop now. Okay. Let's just see what we are doing. Let me call this D underscore drop now. Then let's say let's copy this and let's drop it here. Okay, data rows. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, now you can see. Um, let me copy this. Let me paste it here, and let me edit this. What we say? Just drop now. Okay. Okay, now we print drop now. Okay, you can see this printing drop now. You can see NA, na, and the rest of them. So I'm used new drop now. Then I bring in the name dot drop now. I make it the drop now method. I said print the drop now. Okay, let's run this. Okay, now you can see this particular data set. You can see where we have the NA value. Okay, now you can see it's giving me 0, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's giving me 0, 2, 3, 4, 5. One is off. Now, why one is off? Because I said drop now. So where there is now the row that has NA now was dropped. That means this was an empty row. Now let's look at the original data set so we can understand this better. Let's take a look at the original data set as put this a break. Now look at the original data sets here. Row 1 is just the name. Row 2 is okay, that's the okay, sorry. Now we can see row 1, we can see row 2. We have 0 value here, empty cell, empty cell. Okay, that's 0 value, empty cell, empty cell. In the second row, 0 value, empty cell, empty cell. Okay, and let's go to now after the name, we have after the last name heading, we have 0 value, empty cell, empty cell. Okay. in our row 2, we have empty cell not available. We have empty cell salary plus com. Let's go back to the original data set. Now, the original data set, we have agile here in this row 2. We have empty value here. We have 0 here. We have empty value in row 2. 0, empty value. We have up to 2 empty value there. Okay, let's see. Sorry. That's what we have here. Now, row 2, we have 0 value. Where we have 0 value, Python menus now. We have empty cell and empty cell here. Here it's makes -1 and it gives us null value here. So here this row 1 after Aganama, it gives us NA. Let's go back to our original data set. After Aganama, we have a Agile here. But Python gives us NA there. Okay, now. So when we want to use the drop now, is telling you anywhere there is NA, drop now, NA, where there is not value. Can you see here, the row 1, here row 0, we have all this. The first row, we have NA. Now, once there is NA in that row, Python drops it. Because the first row has NA, Python drops it. Python retains this row because the first row there has a value. But for this particular row 1, the first row has an NA value. So when we use drop now, Python drops that particular row with the NA value. That's one of the things the drop now does. Then we can look at this is to convert it to another type of data set. Okay, let's say drop now in place equals to true. Okay, remove all rows with not value. Now, when you want to remove all rows with not value, when you use the data frame to drop now, you have to use this in place equals to true. In place equals to true. Now use in place equal to true. Now this will remove all rows that has not value. Okay, let's see that. We said in place equals to true. Take note of the true. Okay. So there is no not value. That's what in this particular data set there is no not value here. That's what it's trying to tell us. But we have not value in data set in place equals to 2. Okay, we can also bring in this the prints dot